What's going on, people? I'm Zephyros, and today we're going to be looking at Gear Dungeon 2, Stage 10. I'll show you how I cleared it and the heroes that you can use in as a replacement for some of the heroes that you might not have. All right, so let's get into it. So before we get into the actual run itself, just going to show you here, Power of Dominance turned off. So let's get into the run. So this is the comp I use, okay? So I use Edith. I didn't actually have Edith when I first completed Gear Dungeon 2 and when it was stage 6 as the last stage. I used Pelagios with his Vortex to actually keep the kind of gargoyle gremlin looking thing away. But Edith is so much easier and so much more attainable as a hero, so a lot easier to hit from normal summons. So Edith goes down first, then you put Volker behind, and then you place Elowin as the healer. Great rage regen from Elowin, great cost regen as well when you place that little elf sprite down. So you're not going to use any basic abilities on this gremlin gargoyle thing because you don't need to. You're just going to use basic attacks, whittle it down, and when you've got the cost, you're going to place down your AoE magic dealer. You don't need to use Ajax, okay? You can use Karmit, you can use Berase, you could even use Iona, and it would be more than enough damage there, okay? So don't feel like it has to be Ajax. As soon as this gargoyle is done, you're going to activate um, your Edith just because her ultimate is what pushes it away from you. This fog that is there, that is what deals basically instant KO to any hero that falls in it. So Edith is needed to push it away. I've just placed the elf right here and picked it back up just for a bit of cost regen. Now I'm going to place Valeria on this left side here facing upwards, okay? I don't know if you saw it there. That attack, Bloodbath. Bloodbath is an attack that periodically happens, and the damage scales up based on the number of heroes that have died or been picked up by yourself. The reason Valeria is so good is you get clones of Volker that will come down. This purple clone here is only susceptible to physical damage. Magic damage will heal it, will not kill it. You won't. You'll lose a run. If you take too long to kill these things, they will do massive damage. Kill anything in a 3 square vicinity. Your run is over. Um, Valeria, she's obviously got her unkillable. She does massive physical damage, and when she dies during her ultimate, it does not count towards the count of the bloodbath damage. So just let her die. Once she's done her job, don't pick her up, let her die, okay? So we'll let this all run. As soon as we've got the cost, we're going to place Hex facing down. Now we're just waiting, okay? We're waiting for these guys to come around here. Once they're there, we're going to use the ultimates. So we're going to use Ajax, and once they're a bit closer, we're going to use Volker. Once this purple Volker gets to around here, we're going to then activate our Valeria. So wait a little bit more, and then we're going to activate her about there, okay? So now that once she ultimates, she goes into unkillable. Now we can activate Hex. We'll place this down and pick it back up for cost. Put Brokir down, and Hex will take care of this. Valeria will take care of this, and Volker and Ajax will take care of that. All right. Once this is dead, once this Volker is dead, we're going to pick Hex up and we're going to place our Hatsa. As soon as Hatsa is ready, you're going to ult. So things happen in fairly quick succession here. So when you need to just slow things down, keep it on times 1 speed and click. I like to click on Brokir just because he's center of the map. I can see everything that's going on, but just slow things down. Give yourself plenty of time to think. Okay. So now we've got a red Volker popping up here. Red Volker means it's only susceptible to magical damage. So any physical damage will heal it. Pointless. All right. So just healing Brokir up, and then we're going to pick it back up for a bit of cost. So I use Praetus up here. You do not need Praetus. Okay. Nocturne is more than good enough. Any high single target magic dealer is more than good enough up here, okay? So as soon as we've got the cost, we're going to ultimate again with Hatsu, and we're going to place Torador. Now that these guys are back in range with Ajax, we're going to use Ajax, going to use Volker, and as soon as they're in range of Praetus, activate Praetus, and now we just leave that to its own thing. So now we've got Fatsuit coming out. We're going to wait for some skeletons to come out here. As soon as they're out, we're going to ultimate. So there we go. We're going to heal Brokir back up now. This sprite will heal Brokir right back up. Don't need to worry. Pick it back up. No, didn't pick it back up in time, but it's fine. We're not tight for um, cost at all because we've been putting it down, picking it up all these times. We've got a bit of grace there. Okay, so I am tempted to ultimate with Brokir, but we didn't need it in the end. But if Brokir looks like he's about to die, use his ultimate just to give him a bit of survivability. We're going to use Hatsut's ult again, kill these waves, and job done. Okay. So now we've got this physical Volker coming up. So we're going to take back Praetus and Torador. We're going to put out Valeria to handle that physical damage. And now we wait. All right. So we've got these guys coming in Ajax's range again. So we go Ajax, trigger Volker, let them do their thing. Now again, we've got purple Volker coming up to our Valeria. So once she's about 2 tiles away, we're going to activate Valeria. And I'm actually going to heal him up as soon as you can. Slow things down here, okay? Don't activate Hatsut's ult now. When the red Volker is out, the second red Volker is out, you need to hold Hatsut's ability. The reason you need to hold Hatsut's ability is because you're about to get a blood pact that's going to hit. When that bloodbath hits, there's going to come an archer, and they're going to hit Hatsut at the same time. It does not matter how good your build is. If that hits at the same time, your Hatsut is dead. I don't care how good your build is, your Hatsut is dying. So you need to activate Hatsut's ult there right before Bloodbath hits. Okay. Once Bloodbath hits, place down your Hex. Okay. All of this has been handled. Your Hatsut is now ulting. And now you're going to just let Brokir die because Brokir has his passive, which lets him die once and resurrect himself. Okay, but if you have someone like a Regulus or someone who's going to damage, like limit damage, you're going to need to keep them alive. I love Brokir because he's so tanky, he's able to just keep himself alive. We are now waiting. It's a waiting game. Okay, we're waiting for Hatsut's ult to come back up. We're going to let Brokir die. Um, you're not going to activate Hex's ult. You need to keep things slow at this stage, okay? Because so many things are happening at the same time. You've got Hex who needs to ultimate right before Hatsu ultimates because you're going to need as soon as Hatsu gets 100%, you're ultimating. As soon as she has killed these guys, you're picking her up, and you need Hex to kill this red Volker before she explodes. Because with these Volkers, if you don't kill them in time, they're going to wipe out your entire team. But at the same time, all of that is happening. Down here, you've got this annoying little gremlin gargoyle thing coming. Once this is dead, you need to also ultimate with Edith. And it all happens at pretty much the exact same time. So slow things down, right? So Brokir has dropped, but his ultimate now means that he's frozen himself. Okay, so we're just going to let things slow down. Now, when Hatsut gets to about 90%, I actually activate Hex, slow things down again. And now ultimate with your Hatsu. And as soon as these guys are dead, you're going to pick them up. And now you just need to hope that Hex kills in time. I forgot to do Edith's ultimate, so I just need to hope that this thing does not explode before she does it. Thankfully, we did it in time. So now we just need to hope that Hex is going to deal the damage I need him to deal. And he has. Incredible. So now we're in a good position, okay? We can pick Hex up. We can place our Pope. We can place our Toreador. And now we're just going to wait, okay? Because there's going to come a point where there's going to be another bloodbath, okay? We're going to ultimate. We're going to ultimate. And when that bloodbath happens, you need to be ready to ultimate with Elowin, okay? So we're just going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. And here comes that bloodbath, right? So as soon as we can, we're going to give it a little bit more time. We're going to trigger Elowin, and I'm going to do this as well just to make sure these guys do not die. All right. So those heals are keeping them alive. I'm now going to place Valeria here and I'm going to trigger Pope, right? Because I need to kill these guys in time as well. As soon as Valeria is ready, I'm going to activate Valeria. And once she's ready, I'm going to pick up Brokir. She's going to hold these two and she's going to kill them, right? So now we can afford to pick up Toreador. So here I've obviously just lost my heals, but it's not needed now, okay? Elowin has dropped. I did not need Elowin. I don't need Elowin now. I just need these guys to kill. As long as they kill in time, we're all right. Okay, so now you can even put extra DPS here if you need it. And once they've taken a few extra hits, we're going to ultimate with Hatset. Hatset will take care of it. That's your run done. Right, so that is how I cleared Gear Dungeon 2 Stage 10. Right, so I'm going to give you full disclosure here. I failed that run a few times. Right, if you don't get your timings correct, doesn't matter how good your builds are. If the timings are wrong, you're failing that run. Okay, so don't feel disheartened if you're trying it and it's just not working for you. Your Hatset keeps dying, or you're not killing one of the Volkers quick enough, because it happens to the best of us, right? If the timing is not spot on, it's not going to work. So this is hard content. The timings are really tight. Your builds have to be good. They do have to be good. So I'm just going to show you kind of the damage. So here, Volker is actually the biggest damage dealer. You wouldn't expect it, but she is, right? So the people like your Pope, your Praetus, your Ajax, they're not needed. Okay, they're really, really not. Hex, I think, is so useful. I think the speed at which he kills the Volker is so clutch that I do think it's hard to replace Hex, if I'm honest. But Praetus and Ajax, easy replacements, really easy to replace them. Valeria is, for me, I feel like she's hard to replace. But what I'll do is, before I show you the builds, let me show you how I actually used Praetus and Ardea to a similar effect with Edith and with Edith and the oh, give me a second, with Edith and Volker behind. So you still need Volker, but what I did was I take out Edith, and with that I didn't actually use Ajax. I had Pelagios up top, and I used Ardea. So what I did in this instance was, and this there's a little bit of RNG for your first run. Okay, you have to put down Pelagios first, put down Ardea, and then you place Elowin. And what you do here is you wait for, just going to 2x it just to make it a bit quicker. You wait for it to, for this gremlin to come around there, right? Once it comes to around there, you're going to ultimate with Pelagios, and in huge majority of cases, he's going to do his portal, and these guys are just going to slaughter this thing before she can move. So she doesn't actually end up. Oh, do any. She doesn't do any kind of damage to these guys. So that's how you would use this combination, and then you'd put Volker here. So you'd put Volker in front of Ardea. You'd build Volker as a tank instead of as a damage dealer, right? So that you can kind of mess around with things a little bit there just to keep that thing away from you. But you have to pay attention because when the second time comes around, you need to make sure you're using the ultimate of Pelagios at the right time. Okay, so yeah, that's just another way to do it. So let me show you the builds. Okay, so as we go in, this is obviously the not the run that I showed you. So I'll put those builds back in. So who do we use? We used Ajax and we used Edith. Right. So Torador. Can't even remember what I put Torador. Torador's just in a tanky build, okay? Guardian set, 100k, doesn't even need it because he's going to be healed by Elowin anyway. So this build is not really important, okay? Just build him tanky. This build is important, okay? It does. I didn't use I didn't use Soulbound Arcana just because some of my other heroes were in it for GVG, and this build was good enough. What is crucial in this build is having enough HP. Obviously, you need to have enough damage as well, but enough damage, and you need to have just a bit enough speed and enough rage regen for her to be kind of cycling through her ults. But her HP needs to be enough to survive those bloodbaths, right? So I found 24k was the cutoff point. You can't be dropping below 24, 25k. Okay, so try and aim for 24k, 25k. I have her in an Ichor Chalice that's actually fully leveled. It does not need to be fully leveled. Okay, this just takes her heals from like I think it's like 8% to 15% or so. It's not a massive difference. Okay, if she's level 10 or 13 or whatever on this chalice, it's fine. It's more than enough. Okay, but it needs to be this because she needs to be able to heal herself every time she does damage. Okay, that's a non-negotiable. Has to be that. Volker is in a damage build for behind Edith. She needs to be dealing enough damage, so I've got her in Soulbound Arcana. Again, tanky build, just so that she's not kind of putting too much tax on Elowin to heal. Elowin can quite comfortably keep her alive, no problem. Okay. Um, Next build is Valeria. Valeria just needs to be chucking out damage. Okay, she just needs to be dealing enough damage, so she's pretty easy to build. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've got her in attack, crit damage. Yeah, so build her with three crit with three attack. She's going to deal enough damage. Okay, I've just put her in a crit damage set, crit damage, so she's not even dealing her full capability here, but it's enough, right? But this is a good build. It does need to be a decent build for her to kill in time, okay, and before her ultimate runs out. Then Edith, I'm pretty sure I've got Edith built in tank set again. Build is not important, just tanky enough, all right? Sorry, I got something caught in my throat there. Just going to wet my throat so I'm not coughing all the time. And Poke, like I said, okay, Poke does not need to be in this lineup. He's my best in slot, which is why I got him there, but use a Nocturne. Nocturne is good enough, all right? A single target damage. Even I haven't tested it, but if you've got Soul Cadence, great. Use Soul Cadence. He's going to do the same thing. Nocturne's going to do the same thing. Alistair could probably do the same thing. You've got a ton of people, single target magic dealers who will be able to deal that damage. So just use them, okay? Because they will be good enough. Ajax, again, like I said, you can use Karmit, you can use Boreas, you can use Iona. There's so many options now that you can use instead of Ajax. Hex, Hex is hard to replace. Okay, it is hard. His range is good enough to reach from that far spot. So I do feel like you do kind of need your Hex. There, Elowin again. I don't. It's hard to replace Elowin. Really hard to replace her. Brokir is just best in slot as a healer. So if you've got him, use him. But if you don't, use any the best tank you have to just try and hold that spot. So those are the builds. Elowin does need to be tanky enough. Okay. My Elowin can take a hit. She's got 36k because I don't even care about building her attack too high. Her attack is only 17k. I've got her in a HP set. Right, I've got her in an Immortal Warrior set, obviously with the attack substats, just to try and creep in as much attack as I can. But I'm just pumping HP in there so that she is surviving all of those blood packs. That's the most important thing, all right? All of these builds, I've got them built with enough HP substat. So these will all have HP substat, HP substat, HP substat, right? So these are all builds that I've built tanky enough. So again, 28k. So as long as you're hitting that kind of 26 to 28k region, they should be able to tank as long as they got the heals on them as well. Ajax, obviously, right at the end, Ajax dies because he doesn't have enough HP to survive that final one. But then I bring in my Hatset and burst down. So it's as long as they're surviving up until that point, it's not a problem, right? So that's how you clear Gear Dungeon 2. Um, but the most important thing, the key thing that I can't stress enough, don't get disheartened if you fail the first time. Gear Dungeon 2 is a hard dungeon. Don't get fooled by all these videos out there of people like kind of clearing it easy first time. No. Behind the scenes, people are failing all the time, right? So I can't tell you the number of times I would forget to place hats in time or I'd forget to ultimate and then I'm not cycling my ultimates quick enough, and those skeletons then multiply, and I get swarmed. I can't tell you the number of times I forgot to activate the ultimate, and that little gremlin kills my whole team. Or I don't activate um, Hex's ultimate in time. I don't kill the red Volker. She kills Brokir. She kills everyone. I fail. It happens. Okay, so it's really, really normal. Don't let yourself kind of lose hope because of that. All right. So I really hope this guide helps and even just one person kind of clear this dungeon because it will feel rewarding once you've done it. Right. So if you have any questions about timings, about builds, anything like that, comment below. If you found this helpful, please like, please comment, please subscribe because it really does help my channel and I'll really appreciate it. Okay. So um, I'll be putting out more guides soon. So hopefully see you guys soon. Until then, stay blessed. Take care.